Welcome, everybody, back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is HOTD, episode 6 of my Bugatti. What happened last time?
Last time, Kristen just absolutely ruined the wedding. It was a complete disaster, but they still got married.
Pretty cringe. He really embarrassed everybody.
It was a huge embarrassment.
When he killed that man. When he killed that man because, you know, that his boyfriend was fucking was gonna marry his girlfriend. It's and I see a lot of people defending Kristen, but like if you I know it's like it's a thin line to walk in the show where you're like in real life if somebody did something like this, because these situations are so outlandish. But like there's a difference between getting caught up in your emotions and like feeling ashamed and then beating a man to death in a crowd full of people, also abusing your power as like, you know, a CIA, a Secret Service agent. You know, like imagine if it's basically police brutality and it was fully an abuse of power. Mm-hmm. Not that he's alone in that. I'm just saying he was just a, you know, great normal guy who very honorable. And his reaction to sullying his own honor, whether he was pressured into it or not, was to murder an innocent man in cold blood in a crowd full of people. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's hard to like cast too many stones at him when other people are doing other shit. Obviously, that's kind of the nature of the show that you know, everybody has everybody's hands are dirty. Just because
other people are doing worse stuff doesn't mean that
something
what he did
bad.
was
two wrongs don't make it right.
Excusable.
Did we learn nothing from Stannis the Manus? A good act does not wash out the bad, nor the bad the good. All right, words to live by. Anyway, now we're getting into episode 6. Viserys is dead, I imagine.
Yes. If he's still alive, I would be exceptionally surprised. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Only one way to find out. Yeah, I think he is too, but we'll see. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get the uncut for this reaction. He's immortal. He's immortal. He has the true blood of the dragon. He rejected his dragon rider ways when Balerion died, and he took the power for himself. No, he's dead. He's dead, and he probably has leprosy or some shit. I still think I don't think I've said this fully out loud in like a discussion part of these videos, but there's fully like a Maester conspiracy going on here. Like they show like sheepish looks and like side glances between Otto, between Melos and
yeah, and then I think even last episode we had like one of the other maesters, like a younger one, being like, oh, what if we tried this? And then the other guy was like, no, this has always worked. And it's like, well, it's clearly not working. He's like on death's door here.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we could try to save the digit. It's like, wouldn't the maesterly like opinion be, you know, when he's losing when his finger is rotting off, to just like either cut the hand off at the wrist or to at least, you know, cut off those fingers. Like it's clear as day for anybody paying attention.
Yeah,
especially
when the tip of your finger is fucked, you should probably just
cut it off a couple knuckles down. Yeah, and that's clear, to everybody. But that's not even the only thing. There's like dozens of little looks and little like side conversations and little like shots of the maesters running away at the opportune time, or not that they should stay and fight when Kristen Cole is murdering a man. But I'm just saying like I'm just saying like there's clearly, and there is a theory that that the maesters killed the dragons or like facilitated their deaths by like poisoning the eggs so that they eventually die out, because the maesters don't like magic and they you know want to control shit in their own way, because they have like if they're like in the high tower over there in Old Town and at the Citadel, and they're like they kind of have all the secrets and they control everything, then they can kind of control the whole the realm for the better or for worse, or I imagine it'd be for the better if there's no dragons burning people alive. But I think that like with the way that Viserys is being treated for a million other reasons, I know I'm not the only person with this theory, but I've been watching it since episode 1, and I've been calling out things as I see them, but I have not fully mentioned that I think that there's a Grand Maester conspiracy of some kind. I think that there definitely is, but hopefully we'll find more information about that this episode and other stuff. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get the uncut. Anything you want to say?
No.
Let's go. Well, Paddy Considine is still
yeah,
top
but it could
build.
just be his dead body.
Probably. They're probably going to show
or flashback. If he is dead, though, which I think he is, I'm really interested in what's gonna happen here.
Well, they had the marriage, like, very opportunely, you know, just at the right time.
I know, but, like, you know, what's Alicent gonna do?
She's going to war. She put on the green dress. She's gonna girl boss the fuck out of this place, out of the Red Keep. And by the way, I just want to mention at the top of the episode, before we get any further, we are going to pause the episode when we have a lot to say. If you want to watch people just gawk and be wowed by a show, this clearly, we're 6 episodes in, this is not the reaction channel for you. I just want to say that right now. I just want to say that right now. Or don't leave, but know what you're getting into, because we're not just going to sit here, we're not watching it just to be wowed, we're watching it to like analyze, but also, on top of that, that doesn't mean we're going to be right about everything. That doesn't mean that everything we say is like a well thought out statement. It's still a reaction. This is just our first reaction to everything. So when we say shit like, oh, I hate this bitch, or, you know, this guy's an idiot, or what the hell are they doing? That it's still a reaction. Not everything we say is well thought out and a perfect like video essay.
In the instant moment reaction to what is happening. It's not like, oh, I watched it and then I thought about it for 3 days and then said, you know what, I hate that bitch. Like, it's not that. So be prepared.
It's a reaction. We have a lot to say, and rather than talk over the episode,
we're
gonna watch it. Anyway. Post time skip. Did you know there was going to be a time skip?
I didn't know.
Okay,
that.
I didn't want to say it because I didn't know if you knew.
I was thinking the same thing for you.
The sound design is on point. Oh boy.
Princess.
What does that mean? Wait, princess?
You hear that?
Wait, princess? So either the king's alive or Alicent pulled some shit.
Yeah.
Kicking like a goat, princess.
They said it twice just so everybody knows. Did she get passed over as well and now she had a boy and now it's gonna call everything into question?
Know.
The queen has requested that the child be brought to her immediately.
Why?
That seems like a bad idea.
I'll take you myself. You should remain a bed.
Can she stand? The instant that she has a child, she's like, I'm gonna get up. Like,
I wouldn't trust these bitches. Take my kid.
ugh. I'm like, I'm stressed right
I
now.
know.
After that.
Her added in all these like squelching sounds.
I just heard.
Yes.
Well done.
Well done.
Now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
I should hope so. Get no such satisfaction from that.
Just take my arm at the least. Was it terribly painful?
Oh, God.
I took a laugh through the shoulder once.
My deepest sympathy.
And glad I'm not a woman.
Walk. Walk.
Okay.
What could she possibly want?
Yeah.
I thought we were past this.
I wonder if they just like let her stay just to.
It is a privilege, if I may be of any service.
The day may yet come, my lord.
The day may yet come, my lord, for your service.
She can come to us, right?
Unless you wish to carry me down those fucking stairs.
All one shot, by the way. This is impressive.
Princess?
Still lurking around.
He doesn't appear to need to lurk. He's still a member of the fucking Kingsguard.
Yeah, well, of course he is. He has the Queen's blessing. What do you want?
Rhaenyra, you should be resting after your labours.
You think I'm gonna hand my child over to you with someone else?
What happy news this morning.
Holy shit! His arm's gone.
Where is he? Where is my...
This man. Hang on, before we go any further, I
Holy
need
shit.
to check the recording. 1 second.
I cannot believe this man is still alive.
Yeah, holy
I
shit.
actually cannot believe it. I fully thought he was dead. I thought that like some like Alice.
I mean, kudos.
I mean,
for staying alive at all.
I know, but since I'm just like now, like the fact that he doesn't have an arm, I'm like, wow, imagine if you just like took, I wonder if they eventually did just like take it off just to like after he fell down or whatever, they were like, you wanna know what, we just need to like go all out, or if he's somehow still alive with like the bare minimum maggot eating his flesh, the dead flesh that they've been
imagine
doing.
at this, like, he looks really rough. How many years must this be? Like 10 years? Something like that? Like,
I would say less than 10. If they're on their first child and they just got
True,
married,
true.
it wouldn't be
well,
that
I don't know
long.
if they just got married. Her mom had trouble conceiving as well. So
Yeah.
we don't fully know.
I think, yeah,
I think we're about to find out. I think we're about to find out.
I would say like 3 years,
Happy
maybe.
news this morning.
That's my guess.
Indeed, Your Grace.
He took a huge like he looks more because he looks older. It could just
I know,
be
but
his
he's
disease.
rough.
I get it. I understand. But he like you don't just you fell off a cliff in those 3 years. Like it looks like he was burned alive in those 3 years. It doesn't look like, oh, he survived cancer. Like he looks like he looks like he's dead.
He's a ghost.
Okay.
Indeed, Your Grace.
Your Grace.
Where is my grandson? There. A fine prince. Sturdy. You will make a fearsome knight. Yes, you will.
Wait, what? Wait. What? A fearsome knight?
How about a
You mean how
fearsome
about a king? You fucking old man? He must have gone back on it, you know?
Joffrey.
Joffrey. Joffrey Valerian.
Unusual name for a Valerian.
I do believe he has his father's nose.
Laenor seems like a good guy.
Well done, my girl. I do hope the labor was easy.
I think I called the midwife a cunt.
Oh,
Oh, Viserys.
Do keep trying, Selena. Sooner or later you may get one who looks like you.
Subtle racism? Subtle inserted racism?
Or is the kid's, I couldn't tell if the kid was like supposed to be blonde or if she pulled it back to look at his hair and he had brown hair or something.
Oh. Well, it's hard to say.
I can't tell.
It's hard to say when it's a baby. I don't know how much makeup they're allowed to put on a baby.
Yeah. No, I don't think
On a
much.
newborn, on a literal week-old baby. That, by the looks of it, they actually got like a newborn baby. Is that implying that it's Kristen's kid? Is that the implication there? To have a brown hair
I
kid?
doubt she would go back to him after that.
Again, it's hard to tell with the production shit because like I don't know if they're allowed to dye babies like peach fuzz hair blonde, or if they had the pick of the litter and they couldn't find a blonde baby or like, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say.
You don't
But they both have silver hair.
insult me before you make my child.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I just said he was a good guy too.
Oh my god, look at the trail of blood. On
Oh
the
my
ground.
god. She's a badass.
Mother.
Oh, she has a lot of kids.
Oh, right. Why do they all have brown hair?
Are they all his kids? If he's in there playing with them?
Why do they all have brown hair? Oh, is that their their arrangement? They're all technically bastards.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be, and that's why she says if Alicent knows that they're all bastards, then they all have no claim. So, you know, doesn't matter.
This is bad. This is fucking
It's also
bad
because...
So it has been like 15 years or some shit.
I wasn't sure because they were acting...
10 years, 12 years.
It seemed like maybe that was her first child, but they just changed actors because they had, like, gone to the point that, like, you know...
And that seems silly to me. I would think if it was like 3 years, they wouldn't even bother changing the actors. That was my point.
Yeah.
Dragon
Choose
egg.
an egg for the baby.
That looks like the perfect one.
All sons.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Joffrey, is it?
Father, please may I hold Joffrey?
No. Back to the dragon pit for you two. They stand out a search party.
Sleep in front of the commander of the city watch. Terrible lack of respect.
Certain insolence runs in the family, I'm afraid.
Rhaenyra, like, I don't know who you think you're fooling with those 3 brown-haired babies.
Well, I also think that it's especially in the context of the show, because in the context of like whatever, like later down the line, it's pretty common. It's common. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like later down the line, it's common for Targaryens to have brown hair. That's just a thing. Like even like siblings, one of them could have blonde hair, one of them could have black hair. It doesn't really matter. But every single Targaryen we've seen so far in the show, and Valerion as well, all have blonde hair regardless. So, you know.
I don't get it. I don't get I don't get her, man. Like, she wants to be queen so badly. She wants all this shit, but she's ruined. It's not just about, like, her freedom as a person or whatever. It's, like, she's ruining her children's claim to the throne and thus weakening her own claim. If she's a Valyrian, like, pretty pure Valyrian blood, a little bit of mixture there with her mom being half Targaryen and half Aaron. Like, there's some mixture there, but like everybody in the line has silvery blonde hair, and then you come out with 3 princes with fucking dark as night hair. Not quite, but like they look more like Starks than Targaryens. Like it's not about like her being able to do what she wants or their like arrangement or whatever the fuck. It's like if she really is so serious about being queen, I don't know how she thinks it's a good idea.
It's been 10 years. We haven't like had like too much of a moment of what she's
Do you really think it's changed
at this moment? I don't know.
Dragons are small. It might be a newborn, but it looks kind of fucked up.
That was Alicent's kids.
Treat. Dragon gets treats.
So cute. Oh. He's trying to tell it to they bring it out to try and train it.
Can I say it? Dracarys Vermax.
Is it gonna... Oh. I thought it was gonna like sputter out a little shitty flame.
What is it?
Something very special.
You're the only one of us without a dragon.
Indeed.
And we felt badly about it. So we found one for you.
A dragon.
Wow.
Behold, the pink dragon.
Be sure to mount her carefully. First flight's always rough.
That's not nice.
That's mean.
That's not nice. How to start a civil war. Make two princes enemies. let them foster hatred for each other from a young age. Something's calling to him. He's the true prince, the second son.
Just gets burned alive.
That Laenar's dragon?
I can't tell. I couldn't tell what dragon that was. If it's one that we've seen before, even.
I think Laenar's dragon looked more like a traditional... What?
240.
Yes, it is.
It has eyes. No. I don't believe it can see.
Then there's
So,
there's the princess who just is not
It is beyond our understanding.
into it at all. She's
you're right. Something's just
that's
Looks all
mean.
She looks a lot like Rhaenyra.
She's like, just beyond understanding. Right, most things are. Grabs her arm like she's beyond understanding. She doesn't fucking understand. What a bitch.
What have you done?
He did it again.
After how many times you've been warned, must I have you confined to your chamber?
He made me do it.
As in your obsession with those beasts goes beyond
They
understanding.
gave me a pig.
A what?
They said they found a dragon for me,
The last ring has no legs at all.
but it was a pig.
You will have a dragon one day.
He'll have to close an eye.
I know it.
Was there no eggs, or did his something happen to his? I wonder.
I think there was probably no eggs, I imagine.
But then there was eggs later for all three of Rhaenyra's
They're-
kids.
well, they put a egg in their cradle, so if there was one egg at the time or like a handful of eggs at the time, they were probably put in Rhaenyra's crib first. Like she probably had priority, I guess. I don't know.
You will have a dragon one day.
He'll have to close an eye.
I know it.
They all laughed.
They made wings for it, apparently.
You sure it wasn't our egg on and put them up to it?
Our
Yeah.
egg on.
Their eggs ever heard.
Why is that?
You know why?
I'm afraid I don't.
Don't. Viserys.
We shall continue this afternoon or not.
So it was the egg just didn't hatch.
I guess, yeah, but she's saying like Rhaenyra's kids, their eggs hatched. And she's just like, I wonder why their eggs hatched. And he's in denial about it or just doesn't want to say it.
I have raised this matter before, and you forbade me to speak of it, so I held my tongue. To have one child like that is a mistake. To have three is an insult. To the throne, to you, as Valarian, and the match you battled so hard to make for her, not to mention decency itself. Did you witness the act itself?
I'm too old for this shit.
Consequences of an allegation like the one you twirled would be dire.
Precisely.
It's not worth it.
Do not speak of this again.
Honestly, it's just really bad luck for Rhaenyra because like Alicent is having kids with silver hair, even though she has brown. Like it's,
I think it's something in the it's like we learned in season 1 of Game of Thrones. It's something in the series that the seed is strong and it mostly follows the, like there's mixtures, but it mostly follows the dad's genes of what their hair and eye color are or whatever the fuck.
I guess, which I think is weird because I think in real life it mostly follows the mother. Like
Is
has
that
a
true?
stronger sway.
The seed is strong. And it's not worth it. It's like what like it's exactly what we learned 200 years later in the previous show. When you get into all this shit, it's not worth it. Wait out the shitty king and wait for the next one to come that's better. Wait, you know, it doesn't matter what's running through their veins. It really doesn't matter. I guess in the Targaryen's case, it matters a little bit more because of the dragon riding and shit. But the kids are still Targaryens. They're still...
also, like we're seeing, that Aegon is apparently a piece of shit, and he kind of knows it. He knows that, like, okay, so it's either Rhaenyra, who's, you know, Rhaenyra, but also Aegon, who is now like taunting his brother and like making shitty pranks. He's got a little chip on his shoulder, and you really want him. You can just tell. You can tell by looking at him that he you know is harboring a little bit of resentment, or like I'm the real Targaryen here. You know, like you can see it. He has that vibe about him. So why does Alicent care about the purity? I guess because of her own kids. Yeah.
Do my senses lead me astray, or is everyone else asleep, dreaming the same woolly dream?
Sometimes seems so, Your Grace.
She flaunts the privilege of her inheritance without shame. She expects everyone in the Red Keep to deny the truth our eyes cannot plainly see. And the king, her father...
He knows.
Of course he knows. Or did once, but has convinced himself otherwise. He'll do naught but make excuses for her.
The Princess Rhaenyra is brazen and relentless. A spider who stings and sucks her prey dry. Spoiled cunt.
Settle down.
Your Grace, and I apologize.
I have to believe that in the end, honour and decency will prevail. We need to hew to that and to each other.
Somebody's jerking off into the sea. Oh, it's Aegon.
I'm just setting him up as a fucking weirdo.
Whose idea is it?
Fucking Timothy Chalamet head ass.
Your plot.
It was Jace. It was the two of them. I couldn't be sure.
Edmund is your brother.
Oh, he's a twat.
We are family. You may carve him about as you wish your own, but in the world, we must defend our own.
It was funny.
Do you think Rhaenyra's sons will be your playthings forever? As things stand, Rhaenyra will ascend the throne, and Jacaerys Targaryen will be her heir.
So?
You are a man grown. How is it that you can be so short-sighted?
He just doesn't care.
If Rhaenyra comes into power, your very life could be forfeit.
Fuck you, bitch! What? Why are you putting that out there? Like, it could be fine. He doesn't care.
Especially if he doesn't care.
I thought he had the ambition, but no, if he doesn't, that's awesome.
It seems like he just wants to be a prankster shithead teenager.
He's fully like a Daeron Targaryen who just doesn't give a fuck and like wants to drink and wants to fuck and whatever and just wants to be a kid.
Which is fine and makes him less of a threat than if, like, the thing is
she's like putting that on her kid. She's like
your life could
inherit my hatred, inherit my bitterness and resentment.
It's bad because it's true that if that happens, sure, his life could be forfeit if he tries to go against her, but if he has zero interest and actively does not want to go against her...
You need to embody all the drama and all the shit that I've built up for the last 20 years. You carry it and act it out in my name. Who cares about your happiness or the happiness of the people that come after you? Who gives a shit? What matters is me and my bitterness. Fucking bitch. Put that in his head. It doesn't matter. Like, nobody's gonna do anything. It's only gonna happen if you keep passing this shit down to them.
Your very life could be forfeit. Aemon's as well. She could move to cut off any challenge to her succession.
Then I won't.
You are the challenge! You are the challenge, Aegon! Simply by living and breathing!
This fucking psycho, man.
You are the king's firstborn son.
Bitch.
And what they know, what everyone in the realm knows, in their blood and in their bones, is that one day you will be our king.
Cersei Lannister ass. Fully Cersei Lannister.
Can trust.
It's a long boy.
He looks so weird. Let's see what he's up to lately.
He's in the east, by the looks of it, or is this Dorne?
He's doing his own thing.
He doesn't look too worse for wear. Oh!
Oh.
Did they get married?
They must have.
Her dragon looks fucked.
And what is this, like...
It's like hair.
Her dragon is really big, though. It's like if you put their dragons together, it might make a normal dragon. Like hers is all kind of like large and bulky, and his is all like slim and long.
Thus turning the tide.
This is Bravos.
Aegon the Conqueror.
Your aim is to marry one of our daughters, Your Excellence. You might have said so and spared us the history lesson. What?
I would not count myself so deserving, my Lady Laena. I would offer you a permanent residence here in Pentos.
Pentos.
This manor I would give to you outright, along with its farms, lands, vineyard, and the wood. You would have your freedom of the city and the harbour, as befits your royal station.
Continue.
Triarchy has made common cause with Corrin Marital of Dawn. At any moment they may turn their sights north. Your family has dragons. My aim is to protect Pentos from the lustful eye of the Triarchy. Aid Pentos in this, as Aegon once did. My gratitude will fill your cup and overflow it.
Your Excellence, we are travelers. We've already extended our visit here.
Or is this the perfect opportunity?
One we will certainly entertain.
It's interesting that they've just been like cruising around, kind of doing whatever.
Chilling, yeah. But he's that fire, that deep smoldering ambition still burns.
We are more than this, Damon. We are not minstrels or mummers who play at the pleasure of an alien prince. We are the blood of old Valyria. We don't belong here.
Valyria is gone. We don't belong anywhere.
It's interesting the switch up here of like she's kind of like, yeah, like we're still in it, and he's like,
that
let's
ship
just
has long sailed.
Like, I tried that before. It was way too much effort. I'm just gonna like chill out here with my family, be absolutely loaded, and not have to worry about anything. Sounds good to me.
I don't think that's what it is. It seems a little bit more reluctant than like excitedly, you know, being the lapdog of a Pentoshi fucking cheese merchant or whatever he is, of a Magistar or whatever the fuck he is. I think that he that fire still burns, and that's why he wants it. I think he's the one who was saying that he wanted to go forth with fighting off the Triarchy.
No, but stay there. He
wants to take their offer of money and service.
Just to stay there and like basically like not to necessarily like do too much. They just have to. The threat of them being there with all their dragons is enough to stop anyone from coming and fucking with Pentos.
Yeah,
is sort of the idea. They wouldn't have to go and fight in something. They would just have to be there, and no one would come there and mess with them.
Soften your knees. Feet light.
This is the stuff, Lionel. Lads have learned together, trained together, help each other down, pick each other up. You'll certainly form a lifelong bond, wouldn't you agree?
That is the hope, Your Grace.
Don't stand too upright, my prince. You'll get knocked down. Aegon.
I've won my first battle, Christian. My opponent sues for mercy.
You'll have a new opponent then, my Lord of the Straw. Let's see if you can tap
My
me.
Lord of the Straw.
You and your brother. I have to do better than that.
I also like how they're wearing green, their mom's colors, not their dad's.
Yeah, isn't that subtle?
Boys could do better with a bit of your attention.
You question my method of instruction, sir.
Well, I merely suggest that method be applied to all your pupils.
Yeah, he's put special attention to the queen's sons.
Sheriff. You spar with Aegon.
Whoa!
Eldest son against eldest son.
Hardly a fair match.
I know you've never seen battle style, but when steel is drawn, a fair match isn't something anyone should expect. Blades up. Engage.
All right, pick him up. Come on. Doesn't have much form there.
I'll deal with him.
Ah.
Again, it's like the adults, like, just puppeting, like.
Yeah.
Gone. You forget yourself, Strong. That is the prince.
This is what you teach, Cole. Cruelty.
Your interest in the prince's training is quite unusual, Commander. Most men would only have that kind of devotion to a cousin, or a brother, or a son.
Okay. Really getting a taste of his own medicine here.
Everybody just needs to fucking relax and stop putting this on the kids, man.
Yeah.
It's so petty. Yeah, and then that reaction is all that they need.
Yeah.
Oh, hearing father and son.
Shame on the whole of House Strong, because I laid my hands on that insufferable Cole, the son of a steward. He is a knight of the King's Dark House. Sailed like a feather of future heir to the throne. You have laid us open to accusations of an uglier treachery.
And what's treachery, is there? Don't play the fool with me, boy.
Your intimacy with the princess is an offense that would mean exile and death. For you, for her, for the children.
Only. Spun by the princess's rivals.
People have eyes, boy.
Yeah. It's like.
Yet his grace the king, it seems, will not accept what his eyes. His flimsy shield alone stands between you and the headsman. The willful blindness of a father towards his child.
I wish my father affected a similar blindness.
Have I not? These many years. And yet today, you publicly assaulted a knight of the king's heart in the defense of your...
You have your honor. And I have mine.
It's not good.
People can like do whatever the fuck they want, but as soon as like they just, it is so dumb because it's not like everybody's talking about how dumb he was talking about how dumb Harwin is, but you can tell he really does care for his grandchildren.
Yeah.
Or for not his grandchildren, for the princes.
Yeah.
But like that's what it is. It's not just everybody's talking about all this succession bullshit, but it's like. There's these kids are inheriting hatred and evil from their fucking shitty previous generation. It's so annoying. Like Aegon doesn't have to want to fucking beat up his cousin. They could just fucking hang out, or his nephews, right?
Yes. It really sucks because Kristen just comes in just to confirm, just trying to rile him up, trying to confirm his things, and he just hates those kids even preemptively because he hates her, because she's not honorable. Like him and Alicent are so honorable.
And
they're
it's
the
an
honor
overcorrection.
police.
Yeah, exactly. They're the honor police. Exactly.
They're running around. They're seriously so wrapped up. They're both very honorable people, which is all right, but the fact is then they expect everyone else to be at the same level of honorability.
Well, that's just it, is that Kristen it's an overcorrection. He's overcompensating for his misgivings, for his mistakes. So then he has to act more than he is, but I think there's also a little bit of jealousy because he could have been Harwin.
That could have been his life.
Yeah.
But so he's looking at basically himself, but also.
So it's great character writing. It's not to downplay it. All this is great character writing. I'm not mad at that even a little bit. It's so complex. There's so many layers to it. It says so much by saying so little. It's really well constructed, great writing. I actually love it. I'm freaking out because I'm so invested. I just want to say that because none of this is oh, that's really stupid. That's kind of convenient. Nothing like that. It's all makes perfect sense. It's frustrating because I care and because it's high stakes. There's kids' lives involved. People are being influenced by their shitty parents and by the shitty previous generation. And then the adults in the situation are acting like fucking children about it.
Yeah. And because it's gone on for so long, the king is like they said, him willing to turn a blind eye towards his own child is the only thing
keeping them
that
alive.
Is stopping. Because if he dies and Alicent, it pulled like kind of like a reverse Cersei Lannister of like, instead of trying to pretend that her kids are legit when they're not, just like going and outing some other kids who are not legitimate, which is like is a concern to the crown, but also like stirring up trouble for her own children that didn't necessarily need to be there. So it's really complicated, and I genuinely really like that Viserys didn't die, because none of this would be happening if he had died there. Like, stuff would have just... because Rhaenyra would have been queen, and then if she was having sons that were clearly not from their father, then you know what I mean? Like, there would be all kinds of problems. From that, Alicent would be able to immediately pull something if she wanted to, or anyone who didn't like Rhaenyra being queen would be able to be like, hey, she's not even having real kids here, you know?
They're not real kids. They're fake kids.
But the interesting thing also is, because she is like the heir, they're still her kids, even if they're bastards.
Right.
It's not a Cersei Lannister thing where they just aren't related to the royal family whatsoever. They still are, because they are her children and she is the ruler. So it's kind of an interesting thing there as well, because they're still Targaryens. If
they were outed as bastards, if they were outed as bastards, they could if Rhaenyra becomes queen, she could just as easily legitimize her children and screw all this up. But it's not just about that, as we've been talking about this whole time. It's all about like your claim and strengthening your claim. And right now her claim is she's not doing herself any fucking favors at all by this. And it's not just not doing her any favors. She is putting her children. It's the hand of the king is completely fucking right.
Yeah.
They're putting the children at risk, and that's the real fucking problem. You can fuck up your own claim and like put your head on a spike all you want, but once you like, these kids could have been full-blooded, fully legit kids, and it would like fully legit heirs, and it would have been fine, and there'd be no problem. But because she wants to fuck around at the expense of her children's safety and her own safety, and not just them. Again, like I keep saying, team smallfolk. How many fucking people are gonna burn alive when this shit finally explodes? It's fucking selfish.
I also wonder, we were talking about Damon earlier, like if since him having children, because he is so loyal to his family and he genuinely loves his family, if he loves his children and that's why he wants to kind of stay away, because he knows what's gonna come over in Westeros and doesn't want his kids to be killed off, because they are also have good claim to the throne, because if Rhaenyra is not it, like it was originally
after, now that they've both had kids, he's so fucking far behind. That ship is completely
he's far behind, but if all of them get killed in like some kind of thing, then you know
what are you saying about that though? Are you saying he's gonna kill his entire family?
No, I'm saying that if
they
he's
all
anticipating
a civil war,
he wants his kids to be across the sea and away with their dragons, doing their own thing, so that and then whatever happens in the fallout of that can happen. You know what I mean?
You might be right, but I don't get the impression that he's really thinking that way very much. I could be completely wrong. You might be right, but
we've only seen him in one scene, so But it's interesting that Rhaenyra isn't potentially having a similar reaction of like, I don't want my children and my nice life that I've built to fall apart because of, she. It's just hard because she's still going for the throne, but at this point she could, say no, you can have it, and I will live my life the way that I want to live it with my husband who, is gay, but we're kind of we're happy in our own way.
What are you saying about that?
I'm saying it's too bad that she's probably going to put her desire for the throne above that.
It's too bad that everybody's being selfish? Yeah, right. Everybody's being really selfish.
To ease the pain, Princess.
My dear wife. Princess? Oh. I fell down. You in very much pain. Milk. Swells the breast.
Would you mind, Sir Carlo? I would like to speak with my husband.
Of course, Princess. War is afoot again in the Stepstones.
War. Let's try it. She is very stressed out at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
To be back at sea.
Are you mad? Do you know what's happened? Well, you've been guzzling all the ale in Fleabot and God knows what besides. Dark rooms.
Whoa.
haunting us, Laena. Questions about our son's parentage.
Oh, I wonder
Vile,
why.
Disgusting insinuations.
Is that his fault now?
Insinuations, are
They are our sons. Yours and mine. And their true father will not abandon them now to go carousing through the narrow sea, waggling his sword and winking at his sailors.
I am a knight. And a warrior. And I have played my part here. Faithfully. For 10 years.
True.
I am owed
You are owed nothing. For 10 years, you have indulged yourself at court.
What have you done?
The finest, drunk the rarest of wines, fucked the lustiest boys. This was our agreement. I have not begrudged you. But you do not desert your post when the storm lashes.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
wise
true.
sailor
That's true.
flees the storm as it gathers.
That's a little unfair.
Yeah.
That's a
Very
little
well,
unfair.
then I command you. As your princess and the heir to the throne, you are commanded to remain in King's Landing and at my side.
Yeah, that's not fair for him.
Was there arrangement to fuck other people or to produce copious bastard children and then, like, was that it? Was that part of it?
I mean, it seems...
It's kind of a part of it, but like...
she has to have some children, or else
Right.
people will be like, why aren't you having children?
I would have expected them to have at least one true-born son
I know, I was
first
thinking
before
that
doing all
too.
this shit. Like that, I thought that was the point, because that was part of the arrangement, if we remember. She said, we'll do our duty, and then we can do whatever we want. Not just we do whatever we want from the get-go, and then everybody's fucked, and nobody cared. Like, you know... Like that's and then to shit on him for doing what his part of the deal was, which was being as gay as he wants, wherever he wants, and doing whatever he wants. Like that was the whole point. So now she's getting pissed off that he's doing whatever he wants she has all these responsibilities and the pressure is mounting on her.
Yeah,
it's
but
a little unfair.
But the pressure is mounting on them because they made this agreement that they were going to be in it together. He is raising them as his sons.
True.
He gets to live the life that he wants.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that him wanting to leave is good. He's not right for wanting to abandon his family to go off and fight some shitty war. That's not that's not good. I'm not saying that's good. What I'm saying is neither of them held up their end of the bargain. She did whatever she wanted. And they both are equally complicit in this. So she can't she has no high ground here to say like, "Oh, I was over here, you know, fathering a legitimate child from you and then carried it." It's no, she fucked around and he fucked around.
Yeah,
and she had illegitimate children and he is raising them as his own. That's not, they both are in it.
She literally said that all of everything's been going good until now. Things are being called into question.
Then
and
why is she
isn't helping? And he wants to run away.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that's good.
I know. I'm saying.
Are you arguing with me about this or what?
No, I was just saying she wasn't getting on his case for anything in the past.
She was saying, "Oh, guzzling all the wine you want, all the ale you want, and who knows what else." Like.
Yeah, today while shit's going down, he's doing his own thing instead of making a plan with her.
But that's what he always did, so why is she shitting on him? It's a sly comment. She just made like 3 sly comments about him being gay when that was the whole fucking point of their arrangement. And now she's saying, oh, I held, you know, like neither of them held up their arrangement because their arrangement was they would do their duty and have legitimate children, not just fuck around from the get-go. That's my point. They're both equally to blame. He shouldn't want to leave because that's kind of fucked up. But she can't, like, it seems like she's like, everything's falling on me. Everything's falling on us. It's what could I have possibly done to make this not happen? And it's like, you had 3 illegitimate children, and now you're getting pissed off that everyone can plainly see that they don't have silvery blonde fucking hair and dark skin. Like, it's weird. It's weird. And she's acting like the world is like acting upon her like she had no hand in this whatsoever.
It's been 8 years with me. Half of them never do.
Is that her egg?
What? There is more than one way to bind yourself to a dragon. I was without one until I was 15 years old. And now I ride a Vhagar, the largest in the world.
Is that the one that was missing?
Yeah.
They went and found it and she got it. That's pretty badass. That's pretty cool.
Vela's dragon was born to her. But if you wish to be a rider, you must claim that right. Your father will tell you the same. Father ignores me. He's doing his best. Laena has written. Rhaenyra has delivered another son.
Does your brother mention if this one also bears a marked but entirely coincidental resemblance to the commander of the city?
He seems to have left that detail out. I miss my brother, Damon.
Invite them over here. We could all chill here, have a happy life.
And this Westerosi strong wine.
If you did, you would venture into the city, but instead you spend your time here, in the library, reading accounts of the same dead dragon lords whose legacy you claim has no hold on you.
Didn't know I was being so minutely observed.
You do not sleep.
Well, how can I with you haunting my every move?
Life has, I know, disappointed you. Perhaps I too am not the wife you would have wished for yourself.
Laena.
But you are more than this statement. The man I married is more than this.
Why does, like... Don't
rile
fan
him
that
up.
flame, please.
Has he grown so feeble he cannot settle a quarrel over rocks?
I've heard tell.
Oh, Alison's there now.
Now rules River Run in all but name.
Well, he's also a Tully, and this remains a Tully problem.
I would agree.
If we may move on, my lords.
And yet, the Brackens and the Blackwoods will use any excuse to spill each other's blood. So, this dispute bears looking into. There will be country folk who know where the lines have been drawn for generations.
That is easy enough. So, Tyler.
It's all a power play for her. You can see it's all a fucking, I guess for both of them, but like, it's all just like typical. Like, it's like everything is just like, who gives a shit about what's
It seems like
actually
Alicent is taking everything really personal.
Yeah.
Like, Rhaenyra wasn't saying that, I don't think, as a personal thing just to disagree with Alicent.
Yeah.
Just her opinion on the matter that happened.
Well, I mean, look at that. That looks pretty fucking personal right there, to be fair.
I mean, I'm sure Alicent Alicent is fully in visibility of everyone scoffing and, like, at...
Well, she said once, she gave her opinion, and then Rhaenyra cuts in and is like, this is what I think. And then they're like, oh, good. So then she got snubbed, is basically what that was. So she wasn't just scoffing like, how dare you talk? It's like, Rhaenyra cut into what she was saying and basically overruled her completely. I think partly to snub her. Like, I think she did that on purpose. But I think Alicent is just pissed off that she's getting, like, that she she doesn't have the kind of grip that she wanted or that she wants.
So Tyler,
You folk who know the lines have been drawn for generations.
That is easy enough.
So Tyler,
We should address the latest developments in the Stepstones, my lords.
Every shut of that blasted place. Personally, I think the Blackwoods have the upper hand.
No.
We've moved on to the Stepstones, Lord Beesbury. And the Triarchy's new alliance with Dawn?
I suppose I should call him king, as he styled himself when he won a battle there. Once.
It was a decade ago, and he has since left the region undefended.
We have left it undefended. There should have been fortifications built. Watchtowers, a garrison of soldiers sent to hold our ground.
We cannot afford it. Our coffers are great, but not infinite. We must consider the cost to our subjects.
I must
The
agree.
cost of war is greater. But we have been lax, and the old monster now lifts its head.
Let us be finished.
Wait, I wish to speak.
Be seated.
Of course, Alicent doesn't sit.
I have felt the strife between our families of late, my queen. And for any offence given by mine, I apologise. But we are one house. And long before that, we were friends. My son, Jacaerys, will inherit the Iron Throne after me. I propose we betroth him to your daughter, Helena. Ally ourselves. Once and for all. Let them rule together.
A most judicious proposition.
She doesn't like it.
No, of course not.
She doesn't like it, even though it would.
My first boy, my first baby boy.
It's horrible because she's literally proposing something.
Let's wait. Can we wait till the end of the scene?
Together.
A most judicious proposition.
Additionally, if Cyrax brings forth another clutch of eggs, your son, Aemond, will have his choice of them. A symbol of our goodwill.
Rhaenyra.
What? Oh.
Oh, seven hells.
My dear, a dragon's egg is a handsome gift.
The king and I thank you for your offer, and we will consider it duly. You must rest now, husband.
Alicent. Oh, Alicent.
She is sincere.
She is desperate. She feels the earth washing away beneath her feet, and now she expects us to ignore her transgressions.
But she also doesn't want to kill your children
Yeah,
or kill her children. She's proposing a way to save all the children.
Yeah, that's
all
an
the
easy-
children get to live.
Yeah.
And
None of them have to fight and kill each other.
They're still all the children are still Targaryens. All the children get to survive. Her child gets to be ruling.
Alicent's not wrong. Alicent's not wrong that's what she's doing. That she's trying to like solidify the claim. That's what she's doing because she knows it's weak. So she's trying to solidify her son's claim on the throne because she fucked up and she knows it, and they're getting cornered and it sucks. Alicent's completely right. Where she's wrong is that it doesn't fucking matter what the thing is. The only reason Alicent wants to disagree with that is because for her, there are plenty of reasons why it could be disagreeable. But I think the reason why she's disagreeing with it is because she wants her son to be king, and that's it. And she's carrying that fucking resentment, and she wants her son to be king.
And she doesn't like Rhaenyra. She
also doesn't like her own daughter. As we can see, she doesn't understand or like her own daughter. Because her daughter's weird and likes bugs and shit. So like, she's not a normal lady. So she doesn't like that. So she'd rather her perfect first baby boy ascend the throne, even though his claim is not technically the strongest. It's stronger than, you know, in factually there are different strengths to different claims, but like, yeah.
And then also the fact that she just chooses to embarrass Rhaenyra, like no one else was gonna say something about her like leaking all over the place. Like she just said that to make her sit down, and then she's the last one standing, and she gets
all a power play
to finish it off. When Rhaenyra, for regardless of what reason she is making this offer, it is a good offer.
It's
for everyone, and the king realizes it because he knows as much as he doesn't want to admit what's going on, he knows what's going on. But if you're trying
peace.
to
He
not
wants what's best
have
for
a civil
the realm.
war between his children and his grandchildren, plus and his daughter and everything, this could be a way to smooth it all over. If Alicent would just say,
and then their kids
it
would be have a pretty have like pretty strong like Valyrian blood if that's what you really care about, you know.
Joined hands would be stronger for it.
See Christian on the side getting all.
Husband, when I am cold in my grave.
Alicent.
I'm waiting for somebody to just break that fucking model. Like somebody's gonna throw a fucking chair right at it.
I'm being endlessly fussed over Laena. It's a wonder I could visit the privy alone.
What might this errand be about, Lord Lionel?
He wants the match. He wants the match.
I have come to resign my position as Hand of the King.
Oh.
The episode in the yard this morning, my son Harwin has disgraced himself, and every fishwife in King's Landing will soon be telling the tale. Young Harwin's outburst was unfortunate, it's true, but he's been expelled from the City Watch. That seems punishment enough. Forgive me, Your Grace, it is not.
Do not. Just leave it, man. Just leave it. Let's chill out. Let's past be past.
Thankfully, your advice has been sage, unmarked by self-interest, which stands in contrast to all others. You speak kind words, but there is a shadow over my house, and it grows ever darker. I can no longer serve you with integrity. What is this shadow?
Oh no.
Name it if it casts into gloom.
Yeah, you must have your reasoning in plain language.
She's just waiting.
I cannot. Then I cannot accept this.
My dear husband.
I said no. If you insist, my king.
No.
You will continue in your service to the crown. I would then ask leave to take my son from court and escort him back to the family seat at Harrenhal.
He's trying to save his son. He's trying to save his son.
Do it.
He's slinking back. He's like, okay, I won't resign. I'll just go home and not come back.
No, he just wants to get his son.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and then he's just.
He wants to get the fuck out of there.
I'm so stressed out.
I love Olivia Cook's performance, by the way. She's fucking awesome as Alicent.
Mm-hmm.
I want some cherries. This guy.
I took the liberty of beginning without you, Your Grace. It seemed a sin to let such a pie grow cold. Do you expect the king to doom his dear daughter to exile, or even...
Tell you not now.
It's a willful blindness. The king will surely suffer the same affliction if it came to
I
it.
would not. Lord Lionel is to escort Sir Harwin back to Harrenhal to watch over his seat whilst he continues to serve as Hand.
But the Hand is compromised by the acts of his son. My father cannot give unbiased counsel to the king.
It is now that I most rue the absence of my own father. He wouldn't hesitate to speak the truth to the king if Otto Hightower was still at hand.
You cannot say, my queen, that your father would be impartial in this matter.
No, but he would be partial to me.
Yeah. That's the
Double
problem.
standards.
Double standard, dude.
All of King's Landing is no one to take my side.
I do feel bad for Alicent a
I
little
don't
bit.
feel bad for Alicent at all.
Because, like, she didn't want to marry the king originally. Her dad basically, like, played her into that position and then she got abandoned, basically. Like, he's not there anymore to be. So now I think that's her whole thing. She feels that she has to be on the council, take over for her dad, because no one is there playing her side for her. She has to play it for herself. But she's really, like, she's really into it. Like, she's way too... She's playing too hard when the people around her are, like, giving multiple options of, like, here's how we can, like, not.
But she's not just on the offensive. Or on the defensive. She's on the offensive. That's the problem. Is she's trying to force things to be in her favor, because she like other characters are acting really selfishly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, oh, I need to protect my family. It's like, if everyone just stopped piling all their shit on their children, that no problems would be fucking happening. I can guarantee you. Like, if the kids grew up friends and were chill and, you know, had each other's back and just accepted the way things are, then, you know, people wouldn't be fucking grasping for power that it doesn't belong to them. Who cares about fucking bloodlines and shit? It doesn't matter. How about let's stop people from fucking killing each other for no reason over petty family drama.
All of King's Landing is in no one to take my side.
Black Cell. Who is this?
What a collection of heroes I have before me. A murderer, a deviant. For your crimes, you've been sentenced to death by hanging.
What do you want with us?
I am prepared to offer you mercy.
What is
a little price.
Pull out their tongues.
Their teeth.
Their tongues,
Oh.
so they can't speak.
Oh.
They can't read or write because they're peasants. If you take out their tongue, they can't betray you.
Honestly, would rather die.
2 childbirths in 1 episode. Why is she like that?
It's probably better.
Is she gonna die? Is she... The child must be like breech or something, that's why they turned her like that.
What's he gonna say?
I've reached the limit of my art. The child will not come. I'm very sorry, my prince. I could lay open the womb. Try to remove the infant.
What is he gonna choose?
But I cannot say for a surety whether it lives.
Would the mother survive it?
No.
What's his choice? If Viserys was given this choice, what will you choose?
No.
He can't do it? She said she wanted to die a dragon rider's death. It won't do it. So did they save the baby?
No.
No?
No, he chose to not do that, but then, so they were both gonna die anyway, so she just wanted the pain to stop.
Well, and she wanted to die a dragon rider's death, like she said.
I wonder if her daughter's gonna get the dragon now.
Probably.
your mother that?
Princess.
We will exchange letters by Raven. Won't that be fun?
Is Harlan my father? Am I a bastard?
You are a Targaryen. That's what matters.
That's your answer.
What? We're finished here. We're leaving.
Dragonstone.
What of your offer, Jace and Laena?
I have been undermined and made a spectacle. They whisper about me in the corridors. I leave them to it.
To Dragonstone, then?
She needs to claim it.
Left years ago.
It's the seat of the crowned prince or princess. Same thing that Damon did.
What of your position? You always said if you were absent from court, she would pour her honey in your father's ear.
The wise sailor flees the storms it gathers. Laena. Bring him. We'll need every sword we can muster.
At this point, I guess that's fair.
They're not gonna get anywhere trying to like dance around in the court when Alicent has clearly made up her mind.
Yeah.
That as soon as Viserys is gone, she's going to pull some shit. So they might as well prepare for that in their own place with their own people.
Right. Oh shit, Harrenhal. Biggest castle ever built, melted by the Aegon's conquest.
Oh, they're going to kill him?
Why would he give them their pins?
Yeah, that seems kind of foolish to...
Oh shit.
Seriously.
Oh, he's gonna... They're roasting them alive in the castle.
Holy shit.
Oh no.
King. Oh my god. What a horrible way to die. Shit!
That really fucks things up.
What are children but a weakness, a folly, a futility? Through them you imagine you cheat the great darkness of its victory.
It's rats again.
You will persist forever in some form or another. They will keep you from the dust.
It's bad fire.
But for them, you surrender what you should not.
Father and son both.
You may know what is the right thing to be done, but love stays the hand.
This was a fucking crazy episode. My god.
Is it done for? Best to make your way through life unencumbered, if you ask me.
Didn't ask you.
You've heard the stories of Harrenhal, Your Grace.
Cursed.
Built in hubris by Harren the Black as a monument to his own greatness. Blood mixed into the mortar.
He killed his father and brother.
Cursed place.
You pass judgment.
The Queen makes a wish.
No.
What certainty the realm would not strive to fulfill it. I assume you will write to your father now?
Bring him back, Hand of the King again.
I did not wish for this.
Yeah, that's too snaky for her.
Reward me when the time is right.
The same flowers that he was commenting on the first time when he showed up. That's pretty fucked up. I love that she, like, it's interesting because Allison she's been very sharp and very, like you said, offensive this episode. But she doesn't like to play dirty. What she's playing for is the honorable thing, the thing that she believes is right. She just wants her children to rule because they are true. They are born out of marriage, and they're legitimate children. They can rule, and these other children and Rhaenyra cannot rule because they are illegitimate, and that it is not honorable, and it is not correct. It's not the right thing. Mm-hmm. She never said that she wants to just murder Rhaenyra and her children. It is just not correct in her mind for them to take the throne.
And she's afraid for her children.
And she's afraid for her children. But she doesn't think that, like, she doesn't want to dispense death on people who oppose her or did something wrong. She doesn't like this snaky behavior that has now come into it. I think she wants to win because she is right, not because she played dirty and in herself became dishonorable. For her, I think the end doesn't necessarily justify the means if you're doing shit like this.
Right.
Well,
I don't think this will make her stop. To be fair, I think that
I think this might, like, take her into another level. But she would never have done this on her own. And she now is in debt to him because he is acting like, oh, well, you kind of told me to do this, Well,
that's what he's saying. Yeah, it's, oh, I did you a favor. Yeah, it's, it's not like Alice. If the reason I really am becoming sour on Allison is just because it's not that she doesn't have a point in terms of, like, the rules of the throne. Speaking by the logic of, like I said, the first Game of Thrones season with, Joffrey and all that shit. It's not like she doesn't have a point. The problem is, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. None of it really matters when you're talking about people's lives and people's happiness and prosperity. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter whose fucking children are more pure. It's really dumb for Rhaenyra to put her children and herself at risk by making them bastard born, and trying to cover it up. That's just bad. It's shitty decision making because it does put them at risk. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether they're full born or half born. What matters is that people have food in their bellies and can wake up and can go to sleep
and
knowing that
they'll go to war.
Yeah, go to sleep knowing that they'll see tomorrow. That's all that matters. So if you buy into all this royal selection bullshit, then maybe Alicent has a point and she is the righteous one. But is it more righteous and moral to go to start a war of royal selection, and put people's lives at risk, or to just for the benefit of peace accept the way things are and just let it roll and not fucking put everybody in danger?
And especially since she seems to care about her children being killed so much.
Wouldn't it be better to make friends with fucking Rhaenyra?
Marry your daughter into her family? Rhaenyra's not gonna do anything against you.
She thinks she will.
I know,
she's
but
terrified that she will, because that's what her dad said.
She's letting her fears
yes.
Overcome logic, and the logic is that if you marry your daughter to Rhaenyra's son, this will solve the problem,
and that's the
for
good
all of you. All of your children will be fine. Rhaenyra loves and cares about her children, doesn't want them to be killed. You love and care about your children, don't want them to be killed. Does it matter so much that your son sits on the throne, or that all of your children are safe and
well, that's the thing, is
happy?
she wants both, and that's the thing, is people are being, everybody's ambitious. And that's why the character writing is so strong, is because Alicent doesn't just want to do the honorable thing. She's also very biased for herself. That's why she said, like, her dad would be partial to her. It's because it's not just about, like, it is about the honorable, just, moral thing, but I think that she would be advocating for her son regardless of whether they were bastard born or not. She would still think, oh, well, you're the king's firstborn son. It wouldn't matter. She already had these ideas before Rhaenyra's son was born.
But at the same time, I do think that if Rhaenyra had children that were not illegitimate, she would not be
I think she still would.
She still would, but only out of fear for her children. Because
because she's still well, that too. It's both. That's what I'm saying. My point is not to argue about this. My point is saying it's well written because it's both, and because it's contradictory, and people have a lot of different facets to their emotions, and people like Alicent. It's not just a one-sided "I'm right, fuck you." It's like I'm right, but that's also one belief, but also an excuse to believe what I really believe, which is my family comes first. Fuck you for, lying to me, for betraying me, for not trusting me, for, saying the thing of like, oh, well, on my mother's grave, I would never lie to you, Alicent. Oh, we were friends long ago. And then she looks at her like, I was never your friend. You never confided in me or trusted in me. You never like, so it's the personal baggage on top of all this other shit. It's the personal and the political. It's both things are kind of woven together, and it makes people selfish. And in the end, that's why I'm saying it doesn't matter. Bloodlines, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. What matters is, are people safe? Are we going to start a pointless war over this bullshit family squabble?
And I think that's what Viserys, that's kind of what he has always believed.
Yeah.
And that's why he was kind of lax and like didn't do a lot of strong things, because he, in the end, prioritized his family over, he doesn't want to fight with his brother. So he lets him get away with pretty much everything because he doesn't want to have to exile his brother or kill his brother or go into war with his brother.
Family comes
He doesn't
first.
want to kill his grandchildren, whether they're bastards or not. He doesn't want to damage them in any way. He believes that his daughter, he clearly still loves and misses his first wife, and believes that their child is, deserves to rule, because that was like, you know what I mean? He wants everyone to be happy, which is why when Rhaenyra opposes the marriage, he is like,
what a great idea.
He is like, this is the best thing that could have ever happened.
Yeah.
But Alicent doesn't care about the whole family surviving. She just wants her thing, which is...
She's biased.
Which is
like
sad,
everyone is.
Because since now that she has snubbed Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra is going off to prepare for a civil war, do you think Alicent's children are going to make it out unscathed? Unlikely now,
Yeah.
Which is too bad, because they have no part in this, and now they're just pawns.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's so wrapped up in her own bullshit, whether you call it ambition, fear, both, whatever you want to say. She's so wrapped up in her perception of things that she's completely unwilling to consider Alicent or Rhaenyra's offer. And that's where you lose me personally, because it's like, that's where it proves that it's more than just the honorable thing or the right thing or the, whatever. It's about, well, because she doesn't like her daughter as much she likes as her firstborn son. So in fact, she doesn't understand her daughter. So like, it's that too. It's that my favorite kid is not going to be sitting on the throne. My kid that even when he's doing wrong can still do no wrong. I will excuse him for any actions that he takes, whether it's against my other children or other people. Yeah.
And he's not
full on Cersei Lannister.
So far, but he's not as bad as Joffrey. He's not.
No.
He's not.
He's legit. He's fully legit. That's the interesting like interplay here, is because everybody immediately I imagine everybody who watched this immediately thinks of Cersei, right? But it's the opposite. It's that it's like if Joffrey was not a total piece of shit from the get-go, or, you know, Joffrey, there's questions of whether it was like his dad didn't pay attention to him, his mom was an enabling piece of shit, whatever, and he was bastard born. You know, there's multiple facets to Joffrey, but everyone, that's like the template, and then you apply it to this, but you switch up some elements, and it's like, is this like Cersei character such a villain still? She had like her good sides and her facets before, but like, how does that change? How does that archetype and that sort of thing change in a slightly altered situation, where they are in like they have like the moral high ground, whatever, because Rhaenyra was father or mothering bastards, I guess.
Yeah, and Rhaenyra is. I definitely think it's interesting that she is taking a step back, but she's stayed there for so long, because even though we talked a lot about like all the mistakes that Rhaenyra has made and like all her dumb decisions, she was genuinely trying to smooth this whole thing over without having to fight Alicent's children for the throne. She extended the olive branch. She stayed there at the council table for years. She could have left to Dragonstone.
But that wasn't just because of her own ambition. That was also because of fear that Alicent would poison the well.
That's why I'm saying
it wasn't just to mend the fences.
There's a lot of things, like Alicent has many reasons for what she's doing. Rhaenyra has many things for what she's doing, but she tried to fix things with Alicent. There's been 10 years, and Alicent repeatedly put her down, belittled her, used her authority as queen over her, demanded her to bring her child to her right away, just so she could basically mock them for having another bastard.
Confirm the hair color.
Exactly. That's why she wanted him. That's why she wanted to have the child brought there, just so she could be like, oh, well, I guess I still have nothing to worry about from you. Like that's kind of the thing that was going on there, and it's just a shitty. It's a shitty thing to do, basically. Yeah. And so, but then now that Alicent has, it seems like the line has been fully drawn in the sand. She will not, for any reason, even if it will be for the better of everyone and all their children, she will not. She will not go for it. Right. So Rhaenyra now has no choice but to pack up herself and her kids,
go to her birthright, Dragonstone,
and go away and figure out what comes next.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's the same shit of, like I was saying during the episode, the same shit that Damon tried to pull of, like, the dragon egg and going to Dragonstone, like, trying to confirm I am the heir, I am the prince or princess of Dragonstone. That is typically the crown prince, etc., etc. So,
but I don't think it's for her necessarily a way to show power.
It's both. It's both to stay safe and be. It's now like the reason she always has the title of Princess of Dragonstone, but now she needs to say, I am at Dragonstone. I am literally the Princess of Dragonstone, and also the added benefit of getting her children out of that fucking castle. Unfortunately, at the expense of losing the last moments with her dad, who I think she still loves.
Yeah.
It's fucking sucks that way, because he's clearly gonna die in like a week. Like he is one bad fall away from crumbling into dust. Like, it's crazy. And also, okay, all that stuff aside, Laena and Damon.
Unlikely. It seemed like they had a pretty good life.
They had a pretty decent thing going.
It seemed like they kind of, at least until recently, when Damon is considering like staying in this place, it seemed like, you know, they were kind of on the same page, traveling around, having like riding dragons.
It seems like he kind of gave up. He had kind of given up on the life of the rogue prince or whatever, and was not content, but was resigned to the idea of living out his life as a.
It's only too
mercenary.
bad that her parting wisdom to him was to go after his what you know, to rekindle that fire from that he used to have.
Yeah.
Possibly the worst thing that you could say to that, and then burn yourself alive with your dragon.
He again is going to be a really rogue element of Alicent and Rhaenyra are at each other's throats, and their children are at each other's throats. To throw Damon in there, who it's not like at this point with that everybody's had kids. It's not like, oh, my claim. It's like he is so far down the line at this point that like it's not. I mean, I guess he's not that far down the line. He still could conceivably take the throne, possibly, but it's still like not. not nearly as feasible or as like entertainable as it once was.
And also he has his own children. Like it's
and we don't even know if that's what he wants or if he's going to like take Rhaenyra. Maybe he'll go take a side.
Yeah,
you know?
if Alicent comes after Rhaenyra and then he feels like, okay, well the uncle in theory like I guess still the uncle of his children, and then
who are you talking about at this moment?
Laenor is the uncle of Damon's children,
right, yeah.
now motherless.
Okay.
And his favorite niece is over there, and they're going to be attacked by Alicent. I think that he would potentially side with them.
Right.
If in this, I don't think he would go for himself because him and his children don't have a good claim, but Rhaenyra still has her,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a lot going. Is there anything else we missed? We kind of talked about things as they went.
The acting's so good.
Oh,
It
feels like everything in the previous episodes was building up to this. It seems like that was all backstory. For now, we're getting into the real shit.
I was worried, especially when the king, I was like, what's gonna happen? But like, I was expecting he's gonna be dead. There's gonna be some like explosive, crazy stuff. Instead, we get to see everything's been kind of normal, but tensions have been building over these 10
and
years.
Resentments have been festering.
People have been kind of doing their own things, like taking little jabs at each other. But now is the boiling point. But plus 10 years of resentment. It was already like, it seemed like it was already like just about stuff was really about to go bad, and then 10 years, and now everyone has kids, so they all have something to lose.
Right.
Like not just their own lives. You know what I mean? They have to play around with other people involved.
Yeah.
And the acting is really good, especially for Rhaenyra. So many of the... It's interesting because they don't look too much alike. Like Rhaenyra, the actress playing the younger version of Rhaenyra had a lot softer features, but it works because she was playing the younger one. But just all the attention to detail into the facial expressions and like the little moments. Like there's moments that I'm like, oh my god, like you know what I mean? It's just the talent is unreal.
Yeah, it's
to
strong.
be able to play the same character like very convincingly. You know what I mean? Like a lot of just like the ways that Rhaenyra like used to like do certain head movement or like a certain tone of voice.
Yeah.
It really came through. And then also for Alicent as well. And what I love it is because Alicent's character is so much different. She's playing such a different game.
She's way more forceful.
That she doesn't need to be played exactly the same or have all the exact little inflections, but bits of it shine through along with this new like stronger, more hardened presence. It works so well.
She's awesome. And the guy Laris Strong, the crippled guy, I said it before, like his delivery of lines is impeccable. He sells his character so well, and he seems so natural. Like he really seems natural. Like there's no stagey kind of feeling. It seems like he really is saying things just kind of not off the top of his head, but like he's just kind of speaking truthfully. You know what I mean? Like the acting in this episode is crazy. This is the best episode by far, in my opinion.
I think so.
Like, yeah, so many great things.
And I loved, again, Damon getting the same choice as his brother and choosing differently, potentially because he saw what happened last time, that it won't, it's not worth it to do that to someone.
Yeah.
Really.
But in the end, he still lost both. Like
he still lost, but he was going to lose
Viserys
both
did.
Anyway, potentially. The only difference that it would make would be...
Laena could have survived. Right? Or did I read that wrong? They were both fucking doomed.
They were basically, the options were kill her, maybe save the baby. They both die after her just being in hours and hours of pain. Some miracle happens and the baby gets delivered, but like she can't just not have the baby and survive. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So it's. But it was, I don't know. It was
tragic, but he chose differently, and but it's extra tragic because he chose differently. He chose what he thought was right, not what he wanted. Like Viserys more chose what he wanted. It's a lose-lose situation. There's no like, you never know what the fuck the answer is gonna be, so you can't blame either of them for choosing. But like Viserys was so fixated on having a son. I need a son. I need an heir. Blah blah blah. I don't care. I do care. He loved his wife. He feels guilty to this day about that decision. But the fact that Damon chose otherwise, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just interesting.
And also the fact that she was going to die, but then she chose to die on her own terms,
right? Which
is like the exact opposite of what Viserys' wife was done. Is that she had absolutely no choice and had to die a horrible, excruciating death. They didn't even give her like the honor of like killing her first.
Yeah.
And then
they
taking out
her down.
You know, it's so it's very like opposites, and it's interesting that we now have that like same scene again playing out in like the new this new part of the show.
Yeah. And it's I mean, all this stuff was this whole episode was awesome.
Also so cool that she fit
Vhagar.
That's so, at first that's what I thought when I like saw it flying, but then she was on it. I'm like, oh, that must just be her dragon. I didn't know that she didn't have one before. But now I think her other daughter is gonna take Vhagar now, since she was just talking about like, oh, there's other ways to get dragons.
I wonder if the deal is they're going to marry Damon's daughters to the eldest son.
Maybe.
I bet that if she gets Vhagar, that strengthens the Rhaenyra's son's claim. I forget what they called them.
It's also interesting because if Rhaenyra was queen, she could legitimize her own children. It doesn't matter. Especially since she only has 3 illegitimate children, unlike in the future when what king is it that legitimizes all of his bastards?
It's Damon Blackfire is the main son, but it's Aegon the Unworthy.
Yeah, he legitimizes all bastards.
Wait, is that Aegon the Unworthy? That'd be crazy. I don't think so.
I don't think maybe, but I don't think the timeline works for that. Maybe.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But like,
it would only be 100 years from now. So if he was old,
if he was super old and died, it could be.
I don't think so. I think this is Aegon the Second if he were to become king. I don't know. I don't know enough about the fucking Targaryen
There's like
history.
a million.
I've been trying. I could know, but I've been trying not to know all the details because I don't want to know who wins this fucking season.
Yeah, but either way, it wouldn't blow up in like a crazy way like that because all of her children, they're right in front of her. Like, she doesn't have a million scattered across the land that are her bastards. But people also wouldn't respect that if she admitted that they were bastards. Then, you know, just the general public
that would
come against
There
her.
wouldn't be this thin veneer of like, no, they are my children. It's like, okay, if you say so. But if she says they're not
they don't
legitimate.
respect, like, the women's line in general as being, like...
Yeah.
Because, like she said, you're still Targaryen. To her son, she said that, and it's kind of a shitty thing because like these kids are now caught up in this. But you know, when they're looking for Gendry, right? And it's like, oh well, even though you're a bastard, you're still like you still have some blood of the king. But they wouldn't look at her children and be like, oh well, you still have blood of the queen. They'd be like, fuck you, get out of here.
Yeah.
So it's too bad for them. Is what it is.
Indeed. I think that's all I have to say about this. It's a great episode. Again, topped it last episode. I said was my favorite one besides the first one. I think this is my favorite one of all so far. This was a great episode.
Really good.
It really feels like everything was set up for this episode. Like,
I was worried about the time skip. I was like,
I was excited for it. I've been excited for it the whole time. And yeah, I didn't say
I was scared because I really liked how everything was going. Like, I really liked everyone, and I was like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen if they do that. I was also anticipating shit hitting the fan, like, before the time skip, and then I'm like, what's even gonna happen? But I like it way better now that we have this establishing episode to be like, this is how things are now. And this is all gonna get fucked up.
Yeah. Alrighty, leave a like and subscribe, everybody. Check out Patreon to get the uncut. See you next week. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.